chocolate titties.
We're gonna get sued. Where's copyright infringement?
Yeah, we should totally
Please
come up
don't sue us, Tupac. Please don't sue us, Tupac.
This is Mr. Anderson, and you're listening to Knockouts and Three Counts.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Knockouts and Three Counts.
Knockouts and Three Counts.
Yes, sir. This is Knockouts and Three Counts. This is a WrestleMania review episode of Knockouts and Three Counts, and we have pretty much the whole.
Yes! I was about to say.
So that was totally not me. That's Randy, just for the record.
Make you more breathy. There we go.
I was like a hot boy.
That's what I'm talking about.
I feel uncomfortable now. Yes, yeah, it's official. He slipped down. That's crazy.
What?
No, I just
Wow.
So it is official.
Are you? All right, we'll talk about that another time.
Wrong sport.
Wait.
So you agree
Wrong
it's a sport.
sport.
So you agree it's a sport.
Sports.
So, WrestleMania weekend.
Get your bells ready.
I know you two guys are just ready to talk, man. But real quick, make sure you guys follow all of our social media. Go to ko3cpod.com to find all of our pages. Kev, any quick announcements, man?
No. I'm back.
Welcome back, sir.
Back.
I'm back.
Yeah, it's two of us, two in a row.
My team lost the other day. I'm sad, but it's okay.
What team?
State.
Oh, fuck y'all.
Wow.
That's love.
That's all we had, man. In this terrible
Okay,
sports
y'all
town.
definitely lost.
So, Mr. Campbell, man, any quick announcements, sir? Podcast?
Yeah, so
How you going to forget to plug your own shit?
I got so much stuff on my
I
mind.
mean, he
man.
doesn't plug our shit, but...
I do. I just don't. Anyway, I just don't like being tagged in the same shit twice. Anyway, you can find my other
So
show,
don't tag
What
yourself.
Kind of Podcast Is This? That's WAKINDA Podcast Is This. It is all one word for the show. You can find that anywhere you find your podcasts, iTunes, Anchor, SoundCloud, or everyonewhocares.com.
All righty. Mr. Collison.
Be on the lookout. BCWA, what's that, April 20th?
Yes, sir.
Copeland Center, we got Jake Something coming in. If you haven't seen him, you need to. Yeah, other than that, man, we also should be making our way into Clash soon. So be on the lookout and keep your eyes open.
And I will be traveling to Atlanta this weekend to go watch the UFC fight. So I'll get some feedback on that when we come back next weekend. Next week. And I think that's about it. So, Mr. Campbell, why don't you go ahead and introduce our guest that we have sitting in the studio with this wonderful championship
Yes.
title.
With the belt that you can not actually see. Turn it toward the camera. Turn the camera.
Oh, there we go.
Hard count.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to say your real name. I don't know if I'm going to put your real name.
Shaw Black.
Sorry, Black. It's a good friend of mine, fellow Mumford alumni.
Yes, sir.
As most of the people in here. Except you.
Minus one.
I love how he points out the white people. What the fuck?
White people went to Mumford. They were cool.
Let's come along.
Yeah.
We had a couple.
Yeah, see, we had our hair braided. They had their hair cornrowed. That's how you can tell the difference.
One of them was in dance. I remember him.
Another fellow friend of mine that's a huge lifelong wrestling fan, and he also, like our fellow co-host Kyle Collison, went to WrestleMania. So it's good to get. This is your first time?
My first WrestleMania.
So it's when we get somebody's first experience, because Collison, this is a destination trip for him. He uses all his vacation days for this. That's why we hate him. But this is somebody that actually got to experience for the first time. So
At least one of us was out on the floor, fool.
Does that count?
I don't get what you mean.
What?
I was out there on the floor doing something, talking about we're all pissed at him for using his vacation days, bro.
So that's a bad joke. So we're gonna move on.
Talking about?
So
Wait, you don't work the same job?
No,
The same
I work
job?
at the post office.
Okay.
But he was saying because I used all my vacation days, I said, well, I was out there trying to make moves.
Okay, all right.
That's what I'm
moves.
I still don't understand what the hell to do with anything.
I don't either. But we'll move
You
on.
came back from Mania angry, man. Who comes back from Mania angry?
Lost his Chanel Dior shades. But so thank you for coming to the show. We
yeah, for
appreciate
sure.
having
Anytime.
another good wrestling fan. So what you want to do? You want to do day by day?
So I think
That probably would be the best and easiest way to go through it because Sunday's going to take forever.
Wait, what the hell? It's a multi-day event.
Yes,
It's
it's
a-
a destination.
I was there for. I just
it's
got
like-
off the plane today.
Technically, it's still going on right
Yeah,
now.
right
yeah,
now.
technically
Last
it's
day.
still going on. It goes
No,
on from Friday to the next Tuesday.
No,
No,
it goes
Wednesday.
Wednesday
Wednesday
to
to the
Tuesday.
next Tuesday.
So what was the big TV show thing?
Sunday.
WrestleMania.
That's Russell.
That was
What was the rest of it?
There was
There was
Thursday.
events.
There were events
Thursday,
all throughout
Friday,
the week.
Saturday, Sunday, until today.
there's all right. So yeah, WrestleMania is the big thing, like with John Cena, you would know, and then there's something on. It's also called NXT
The Super
with guys
Bowl.
you don't know yet, who are probably gonna be up there, like on a
Plus
John Cena level in a couple years.
Hall
they
of
have
Fame in
theirs.
there.
There's
Plus
the Hall
a
of
million other
Fame.
shows that like you guys won't see unless you're in the area.
It's a whole.
Okay,
It's
remember
a
when the
thing.
Super Bowl was here? That whole
No.
weekend? Oh, okay, never mind then.
You gotta remember,
It's a-
Randy doesn't
it's-
watch sports.
It's a big thing. Every day it's a big thing, and the big culmination is Sunday. But then they have something on Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, he don't watch sports.
He don't care.
No.
He doesn't care.
He's not a fan.
He doesn't care.
He just wants to.
produce and that's it.
He just wants to drink and eat his sandwich.
I'm here because I know how to work this stuff.
Pretty much.
All right. No comics or anything. No.
Oh, all sorts of inappropriate comments.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Whole
yeah.
lot.
No
For
comics. Like any nerd.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all that Japanese squid porn. That's all his shit.
No.
Whoa.
It looked like it. Like,
He look like what?
no, not that part.
Good night, everyone.
Wow. It's just. Way to go! And this is the guy and this is the guy you brought in, so he can get cut off.
No, I get the Will Sasso vibes going on. You know what that is.
Wow.
Literally.
Wow.
So Friday,
So Mania. So Mania happened.
it's still happening.
I don't know when the first show you went to was. What?
Wale Mania.
Okay. So
Wait,
that was
time out.
Thursday.
You
morning.
wasn't-
Wait,
Mania?
everybody shut up.
Yeah.
Tell me. I this is the one I have to know about. Wale Mania. Talk to me.
It was awesome. First of all, Booker T came out as guest of honor. You know, he chilled out, and I guess you're talking about the Enzo thing.
No,
I mean,
no. I'm literally just talking about the whole event because that like whenever Mania is in Tampa, I'm going to that. I have to go to Wale
You
Mania.
have,
going
to,
to
you
that.
have
Next
to
year.
go.
I'm going up.
It's a must. Every black wrestler came out.
Yeah, I heard.
Kofi was all over the place.
I mean, Crime Time.
I heard the
Leo
podcast.
Rush.
Yep.
Wouldn't MVP was there, wasn't he?
MVP was there.
Samoa Joe came out. That was funny.
Charlie Caruso had bars.
Yeah.
God, she's
Corey Graves announced his relationship basically.
Yeah,
Kinda
He did.
awesome.
yeah. That's like he
What
texted.
happened?
He texted me that right when it happened.
Because he came out.
so I
everybody
didn't hear
kinda-
this part.
So he came out. Everybody kind of
Carmella.
booed him and gave him flack or whatever. He said, "Don't worry about me. I'm FABO." You know, he's what the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess that the setup.
So how was the concert, man?
Oh, it was awesome, man. Wale came out at the very end, but it was awesome. He jammed out to his own shows. You know, I mean his own music. You know.
So was it?
didn't really-
So it was more of like a DJ set than a concert, or it was
Yeah,
just,
it's,
okay,
it's the DJ set.
okay.
He bring out his little underlings and you know.
Now,
They
would
rock
you,
out.
would you go to it again next year or?
Yeah, definitely.
So is that like the? Excuse me for a second, Kyle. So is that like the Black WrestleMania thing that everybody has to do? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
All right.
Black actors.
It's also it's so great because looking at everybody, you would think like, you know, like some of the other people is not there. They just there for that guy. You know, some of the ladies.
Right.
But they into it too, fully into it, fully know the stories, was telling me stuff. I'm like, whoa, like you into it too. Like it was awesome.
Definitely. Yeah, that's the one thing I had to find out about, man, because I know I have to hit that up. I listened to the podcast that they put out, man. It sounded great. So, yeah.
I love the fact that he is really just a mark. Like he's a legit fan, and he really wouldn't think about that with all his rap. But then he
Yeah.
just comes out.
Yeah.
He'll be on What
Yeah.
Culture. He'll be on Call the Hog. I'm like, oh, so you one of us?
Him and Smoke Dizza.
True.
Simon from What Culture was there. That was dope.
Why?
Yeah.
All right, so Friday. Kyle, what did you get into Friday?
I started Thursday.
But what did you do Thursday?
Thursday, I was at Melrose Ballroom in Queens. I was there for MLW Rise of the Renegades tapings. Honestly, that's one of the best shows I've ever been to. Like, it literally was 4 hours long. I thought it was just going to be like an hour or two because it was a TV taping, but they had so much good shit on there. Like, literally every match on that card was good. Like, they had Brian Pillman versus MJF, which was pretty good. Then later in the show, it was the Hart Foundation, so Teddy Hart, Davey Boy Smith Jr., and Brian Pillman versus the whole dynasty. So Maxwell Jacob Friedman, you've got I forgot the other guy's name, and then there's Alexander Hightower Teddy Hart did one of the sickest fucking things I've ever seen in my life. They did a Doomsday Canadian
Watch your
Destroyer.
language, sir.
Oh,
So they had him lifted up like a
what?
Doomsday. He jumped off the top rope, caught him, and flipped him into a
holy
Canadian
shit.
Destroyer.
Wow.
And that, yeah, dude, it was insane.
That sounds
I'm
From
trying to
there,
picture that. That's like some Raw
was-
vs. SmackDown 2009
look,
creative.
it was
finish
sick.
type shit.
We all about lost our shit when I saw that because I've never seen no shit like that in my life. Then another guy who, as we mentioned, we're going to be doing Ooh La La Lucha. Gringo Loco was on the card. He'll be here in Detroit May 4th, along with Ultimo Dragon and all of them, so be on the lookout for that. Then they also had Dago was on there. You had Pentagon and Phoenix both wrestled on there. Pentagon faced LA Park in the main event, and they beat the dog shit out of each other.
I think I saw that.
Watch your language,
after
sir.
Then they had, who else? They had Tom Lawler versus Jimmy Havoc. That match was absolutely insane. Dude got freaking
Thank you, Randy.
carpentry stapler gun to the head, like he was bleeding all over the place. And then Mance Warner had I don't know if you guys have seen that group Contra that they got over there. Look, Randy, you're a piece of shit.
My microphone is muted. It isn't picking up on yours.
And not too really hungry.
But
Let
yeah,
me,
man,
Let me have some gummy bears, and I some shit get said to me though.
yeah, it was insane though. They had it was just so much stuff. Like, I mean, I knew MLW had a good roster, but like the craziest thing of the whole night, Simon Gotch, who used to be in the Vaudevillains, he like heads this group up. It's him, another one of the Fatu family, and then there's I forget the other guy's name, but he's like kind of like the Sheik. He's like, I've watched the guy like throws fireballs and stuff out at people, and they came out and beat the hell out of a few people, like messed them up pretty good to the point where when they got back to the stage, so the way their stage was, it was like this, but you had like a little bit of room in between where the fans were at. Well, I guess, I don't know if Gotch smacked this kid or like pushed him or what. This dude just got heated, stood up, starts like getting all in his face, and one of them spit at the kid, and then they were like pulling Simon Gotch down the stairs, so it was nuts.
What do you think it was? Think it was work or shoot?
Well, I think they were just getting heel heat, and that kid wasn't having it.
He has been rude to be an asshole. So.
I mean, but that's kind of like this group's MO. Like they're beating the piss out of everybody.
Man. So what about Friday for you guys?
You want to go first?
What day was Friday? Which one was
Friday was for Takeover and all that.
Oh, I definitely went to Takeover. Okay.
Did you go to Access or?
I went to Access Saturday.
Okay.
So yeah, Friday was Takeover for me.
For me, it was busy day Friday. We started with WrestleCon in the morning. I met Ric Flair. That was pretty cool.
Did you cry?
Nah. But I met Ric Flair and Mick Foley. There was a lot of people, but like my only thing with that, like I felt like I didn't like how WrestleCon was set up because it was like the building they did it in. There was like three separate floors, so it was kind of like
You had to
it
go
was-
on one floor for each one of them.
it was kind of like a maze, like to kind of figure out who you wanted to see was, and then like everybody wasn't there at the same time. But for me, I got the picture I wanted anyway, so I got to meet Flair and I got to wear his robe with the belts and stuff. So that was pretty cool. Like
Which one was it again? I saw you tag me in the picture.
they
Which
had
one
the
was it?
silver, red and silver, and the red and gold one. I put the red and gold one on there, but they had the old school NWA and the first like big gold, but with the red leather when they first came out with it. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, we saw so many people. I talked to Ricky Morton about coming on the show, and yeah, man, I was out there. But after that, we went right from there to Access. Access, I didn't like the location for it. The location for it was horrible.
Oh yeah, it was.
The location was absolutely horrible.
The Brooklyn Pier. It was off road, off center, away from everything. It was.
Oh, quick question. How much was the Ubers?
I literally paid $30 total. Well, I had 5 people with me, so
shit.
I literally spent $30 the whole week.
Whole
on-
week?
Yeah, on
You allow walking?
transportation. Well, like the garden I walked when we went to Times Square. I'm literally right outside Times Square, so I didn't have to go nowhere for that. Brooklyn, you would split it, but it was split 5 ways, so that wasn't anything too crazy. So, and then Queens, obviously, you had to get one. But again, that's why, like with us having so many people, it kind of split it. But what sucked though is at Access, they got shuttle buses that were supposed to take you from Access to, to the Barclays. but what happened? It like started to like get real cold and pour, and like the buses were like taking a while, and the Ubers couldn't really get to where the pier was, like he said, because of the location, and it wasn't as big this year as it has been in past years. Like from what the WWE people told us, they essentially told us that they didn't have a venue up until a couple weeks ago, which is why it hadn't been announced as to where
Feels like
it was.
feels like everything with WrestleMania only they
Like,
playing like a few
it
weeks
just
ahead.
feels like a lot of this stuff didn't like. They said they had a lot of problems with buildings backing out and things like that, so it screwed up a lot of that. But they did have some pretty cool stuff. Like there was they essentially did it in like 3-person booths. Like they would change the people every so often, and then you would have
2 hours.
Yeah. And then you got they still had the call a match. Like I took pictures with the DX tank and stuff because they had all that out for Hall of Fame. And then they had, what was cool was you got to get in the ring and take a picture with the old WrestleMania ring. Like they had the old school apron and everything with a cutout of Mean Gene with the microphones in there. So it was cool because like when I went in Orlando, it was just like the ring was, I guess, set up, but like there was the foam pit in there, so you couldn't really get in. This time the whole entire ring was set up, and you could come take pictures and all that stuff. So
How about you? How was your experience?
It was awesome. It was my first access, obviously. The location, well, number one, I'm cheap compared to him. I got the $30
That's
weekend
all I got.
card for the. I can go on the train and the bus.
Metro card?
Yeah, the Metro card. So I took the train and
Was
the
it
bus
just
there.
you, or did you go with a group?
Oh, I went by myself. I
I
met
did.
up with a couple other people there, but yeah, I went by myself. The autograph signing, the Worlds Collide, that was awesome to see.
Okay.
I went there twice actually because I enjoyed it the first time, so I paid for the second day.
Okay.
Yeah, the Worlds Collide, that was awesome. Seeing my girl Bianca Belair up close, that was nice. Yeah, that's Bay right there. For me.
did you see the prices at Barclays though? Holy Jesus!
Yeah.
Dude, I went to get a burger, fries, and a large drink. They wanted $65 fucking dollars.
You.
I swear. And I thought it was a joke at first. And I'm like, wait. What did you ring me up for? She goes, burger, fries, and a large pop. I go, how much is it if I get a small pop? $32.50. I'm like, what?
It is. It's wild expensive.
And here's the kicker. It was almost like a trap because where Barclays was in reference to where most everybody was staying, you like, especially if you came from Access, you're there so long because of the thing with the bus. I hadn't eaten all day, and I'm like, I have to eat something or my stomach's gonna go insane. So I didn't have much choice.
That's a hustle right
Yeah,
there.
every item was like $15. That was the minimum.
For
Minimum
the
50.
large souvenir pop, it was $13.
So hold on. How much was the hamburger?
Minimum $15.
Oh yeah.
Was it was it worth $15?
I mean, it was decent, but I mean, I wouldn't have paid that much
Yeah, it was
for it.
$15.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like me-
it wasn't horrible tasting, but it wasn't worth me
Like
paying.
me, I'll ball out the movie theater and get the $9 chicken tenders. I'll wait the extra 8 minutes. I know when to come in
Again,
attractions and
$9 versus $60.
You go to the movies and getting chicken tenders?
That's a destination.
I'm just
Dinner
saying,
and a movie,
$9,
that's
$60.
That's a destination right
Eat
there.
a
I can
decent
handle
meal before
9.
you go to the cinema, and then you can just load up on like peanut M&Ms and
I don't eat peanut.
Raisinets and
Yeah,
Yeah, you supposed to get
popcorn.
popcorn. You going there getting dinner at the movies?
Oh, I get all. I get popcorn.
If I
I
go
get
to
that
Imagine,
too.
I definitely get a pizza. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, they pizza.
So
Yeah.
I'm drinking alcohol the whole movie.
not Avengers.
that was nuts,
No,
man.
not at all.
They but what about Takeover? What were your thoughts on Takeover? Because
Takeover-
I'm interested to hear
All right,
somebody
all right,
who's
let's do
never
this.
been to
We'll get your thoughts on Takeover. Yours shortly. You in the middle. Your name's Devin, right?
Yeah, that's me.
I'm Kyle, the other one, and then Kevin. Say hi, Kevin.
That's me.
Say hi to people, Kevin.
Hey people.
All right. So I'm the rookie. This is my first NXT show in general.
We all with us three. We virgins. No, wait, you went.
You never came when they
I
went
bet you-
live? When they came here live?
Nah,
No,
I-
we
I-
missed it. Me and him missed it.
We
Those
had,
two
we had a
haven't.
Yeah,
punk
went
ass
to
work.
Chicago last year.
That's all right.
Okay.
I'm going in November.
Oh,
This was my fourth Takeover.
Oh, wow.
oh wait, hold on. For everything you just said about your trip so far. All right, there we go. All right, caught up.
It ain't just me this time. So
Wait, God
just,
wants to say something.
Friend of the show and host of Breaking Down the Ring, Mikey Nichols says, "Oh look, who's fucking back, Mr. Oh, I was in New York and met Becky Lynch. So fuck you, Mikey.
Shout out to Mikey and breaking
I
down the
literally
ring.
had at least 25 comments. Fuck you. I hate you because you met them all.
I really didn't know she was that short. I really thought she was a little taller.
She's beautiful in person, just for the record.
I can
Mikey.
only imagine.
And you're creepy now.
You know what?
Hey,
What she smell
if
like?
it makes me creepy for admitting that she's fine, well, I guess that works.
I'll be great. What she smell like?
You ever
I
look at some?
I didn't get like all up in her shit, bro. Like,
Hey, watch your language.
So I met Adam Cole and got him to sign my bill
Baby.
and whatnot.
Baby.
Title.
Baby.
Oh,
Baby.
Adam Cole, baby. Yeah.
Title.
One of my
That's not a
favorite.
belt.
You right. You right.
How is it
Vince
not
would
a
be-
belt?
Vince
It's
would be-
a belt.
It's
Vince
a long.
McMahon
It's
says
a
title.
long. They don't want to be.
That's
They
There's a
don't,
whole
Man
list.
says
I can see. I
title.
sent you
we'll
later.
let you know that. We'll let you,
Maybe they should stop making it look and work like an actual
We'll,
they
belt
don't want it
then.
to be called a title, and then even
Hey,
though it's called
I
World
wanna email
Wrestling
you the list
Entertainment,
later.
they're not wrestlers; they're superstars. Even
No.
though the word wrestling is actually in the name of the company.
It's not a hospital.
Hey.
It's a medical facility, people.
You right. You right.
It's not. It's not police. It's local authorities.
let's go match by match down the card. We'll hear what we'll get.
Actually-
let him
actually-
go
He ain't got
first.
time
Mikey
to
says
go
hi everybody except for the white bit,
Wow.
which also includes me. So fuck you, Mikey.
Yeah, I know, right, Mikey?
How
What
about
the
this?
fuck?
How about this? You give us who was our predictions? Like who you didn't bring it, did you?
I did.
Oh shit!
Oh, I'm
shit.
saving. I'm
Oh,
saving
Tony-
that. I'm
Where's
saving that for
Tony?
later.
Most of y'all was wrong. I think if I
I-
can recall.
Oh, WrestleMania. If I remember correctly, I think I only got 2 matches wrong.
Well, I don't remember
The whole
with the
Mania,
NXT
and
show.
as all NXT is a.
Oh, well,
I got.
we'll go through that
7
later.
wrong.
Oh, I know I lost.
but by
I
the
know
way-
I lost the main event.
But by the way,
I know I got a lot of the
holla
rest
at your
right.
boy because I called Iconics on this bitch.
I didn't
I
do it.
called that.
Hey.
I called that shit.
We'll go through that later. But really, I think what we need to find out is what was the atmosphere like in that building.
The best audience I've ever been with.
What have I told you? Every
The
time we
best-
have a takeover.
All right, so takeover compared to the WrestleMania fans. WrestleMania is more casual, more your moms, your dads, bringing their sons and everybody. Takeover's for us. Takeover's definitely for us. Every 5 minutes walking down, Adam Cole,
Baby.
Every 5 minutes, you can't go without 5 minutes without hearing somebody chant something.
Yeah, it's just insane too, because like, I mean, literally every year for the last 3 years with the Mania Takeover, I would say that like I'm like that might be the best takeover I've seen. But this card that they put together this year, literally every match I felt almost like outdid the last one, and like that's hard to say in 2019. But I mean, legitimately, I can honestly say that each match everybody in the building. There was not like one pocket of fans that was like, "Oh, boo, this sucks" or nothing. Like literally, everybody in that place was going ape shit. By the end of it, you were like legitimately exhausted.
What happened during the tag match where the fans start chanting "You deserve it"? Something happened.
Okay, yeah, I was right over. Well, I was a section over, but what happened was the spotlight was over and people couldn't see.
That's like all weekend. It's been like.
Oh
that.
yeah, we'll get to the WrestleMania.
Well, I have
Everybody's been talking about
I
that.
have a mini rant on that, so I can't wait.
I can't wait either.
No,
That-
they
I-
said they just not to go skip ahead, but they said they did that last night too.
I-
Like last
again,
night at Mania. I mean, at Raw.
I was
Raw.
there.
Same thing.
I was there
Raw
for
too.
that one too, and I God, please let
That's
me.
ridiculous.
So the light was shining on the audience members, and they turned the lights off, and
Yeah.
they finally did it, and it was like, "You deserve it." That's all.
Yeah, like it just I don't know what the hell was going on, and the arena ones made no sense. WrestleMania, that's both times I've been when it's been outside, literally the same exact thing in the same exact spot in the same exact way. It literally did it again. It just was different color lights, like literally.
When Randy came
Randy,
out.
Yeah,
and Randy,
Yeah.
he tweeted yesterday and apologized for it. He
Like,
said
it
we
was
didn't
so
know.
bad.
He's like, I didn't
Bro,
know about that, and I'm sorry you guys couldn't see my
It
match.
was literally so bad, like especially where I was sitting, because if you go back on the network, you can catch it in a few different spots. Like literally because of where I was sitting, because my seats were like essentially like not direct center facing the stage, but just to the left side. So like the ones that were shining straight back were coming straight to me.
Were you facing hard cam, or was you?
I was facing the stage.
Okay.
But yeah, like the lights were coming right back at you. But as far as we'll get to that when we get to Mania. But with Takeover, man, they just went insane.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Hi, Tony.
That's me.
Mr. Thunder.
What's happening, brother?
I'm trying to stop the live feed from playing. All right, I think I stopped it.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
I'm alive. I'm here.
What?
I'm alive. I'm here. My phone been dead, but I'm back.
Welcome back from the dead, sir.
Congratulations.
All right, so
Who just said that? Who said
Who
that?
do you think?
Your best friend.
Oh, I love you too, Randy.
all right, so we don't want to go match to match because it's gonna take all day. But let's
No,
go.
it won't.
Oh yes, it will. So,
You want to just
Took
pick
all
out
day
what
just doing
matches both
matches.
of us thought were the
Well,
highlights
I was
of the
gonna-
card?
I was gonna say let's get everybody else involved and let everybody talk about what your favorite moment of Takeover was. Kev, you haven't said anything all day, man. So we'll start off with you, sir. What are some of your favorite moments from Takeover, man?
Take 4 minutes.
First, I feel like the tag team match was like the best match the whole night. Even though, I'm gonna tell you why.
Hot take.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Next.
What? Hey, kiss my
I'm
ass
just
twice.
Not once, but twice.
Go ahead, Kev.
Yeah. So I think to me that was the best match of the night because it just showed that first off the War Warriors. I think this is the first time they defended their titles they had it.
No, they.
I think
I don't
it's
watch
the first
NXT. I don't
Or
know.
no, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
So I feel like I really feel like they needed to lose the titles, but they didn't. But
On their first
them?
defense.
no, because I feel like because they haven't defended this, I'm like, what's the point of y'all having something y'all not gonna defend? But that's what
You said about the Raw tag team titles.
I was about to say that too. But
I was so happy with what happened with that at WrestleMania, even though I love the revival.
I was in the bathroom when it happened. Bianca Belair. That girl, that girl is that girl is a star. Like I literally can watch her. I'm like, you are gonna be the future of this
Yeah, she's
industry.
the
man.
future,
Like
definitely.
you are the future of women's wrestling. I can see that. I see what they saw in you, and that's all WWE homegrown
And
product.
I wonder
see
how
what
Sasha
Marquez
feels.
see
I'm
it.
getting a lot of Sasha Banks. vibes
that
from her.
I
Well,
feel.
I'm sure they
I feel
probably-
sorry for Sasha because I think she would dominate the hell out of Sasha, and I love Sasha.
Physically, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
for sure.
She that would be a power
Like, I mean,
match.
no offense, but I mean, physically, dude, she'd pretty much dominate most of the females.
That spot she did where she had both of she had Kairi Sane and Aruko so
Io Shirai.
Shirai.
I get her
Shirai.
name. When she had both of them right there and you can see her abs just start crunching when she's gut checking, I'm like, I got up. I applaud. I was in my bedroom. I applauded that shit.
Man. Mr. Thunder.
That's me.
Wait, you still there?
That's me.
All right, there you go. Yeah, what was your thoughts on NXT Takeover, man?
Well, I mean, I can tell you one thing. It definitely wasn't Bianca Blair's app. But I do.
Can y'all hear him?
My favorite part of the night. Okay, I'm about to hang up and call right back.
nope.
Quick,
Anyway.
somebody have somebody else calling real quick.
No.
What about
All
you,
right, so
Devin?
check it. My favorite part of the night was when the Undisputed Era came down and it was beating up Johnny Gargano. I'm like, oh shit, Adam Cole about to win. And they jumped his ass and then Adam Cole hit him with that move and he kicked out. That was my favorite part.
Well, he kicked out which time?
Yeah.
Several.
Like, the one time I just said, that was my favorite part.
Didn't he kick out like 7 times after that happened?
Yeah, pretty much. And
That was a beautiful indie match.
That was.
That felt like an indie match.
For a minute, I thought they was going to take it for a minute.
I think that was probably the most hype match of the night, but the one that I think that was the sleeper that I enjoyed to watch probably the most out of. Well, it may not be the one I enjoyed the most because I like the main event.
Don't say
but
it. Please don't say it.
Pete Dunne and Walter was
okay.
fucking insane,
That was great.
dude. Because they just went back and forth, and you could tell we're beating the shit out of each
Yeah,
other.
very hard
And the
hit.
move that Walter pulled off at the end in that diving splash, that motherfucker jumped 3/4 of the way across the ring, and that's a big freaking dude.
I
And
just
that's
like
the
his
first
aura.
time I saw him at Evolve, and like to see him, obviously, you can ring the bell for yourself too, fool. You were there too. Exactly. See, Kev? It's gonna be Christmas again soon. But yeah, that match really I'm a big fan of the hard hitting stuff, so that one I was
I like
really
his
looking forward
aura.
to.
Just coming down to the ring.
Don't
like,
say nothing,
holy
no
crap.
bullshit. Like
He gives
if-
an Ivan Drago type vibe. Like he's
that
going
song,
to mess somebody
that
up
song
in the
that
ring.
he's got is like so perfect.
His
because,
entrance,
dude,
his
you
entrance
don't
where he
say
just comes out
nothing,
there with the white.
comes out and fucks you up. Like there's no nothing. Like he comes.
The second
out,
I see him, I'm like, oh, you're a Regal guy. Like
Yeah.
Regal
I got
found
that.
you.
I'm a big fan.
What about you, sir? Your favorite moment from Takeover?
The closing. Tommaso Ciampa came out.
Yep.
Had that great moment.
Somebody was cutting onions near me. I don't know what the hell's happening. It's happened all weekend.
Yeah, even though the story couldn't be completed with Ciampa, it was still nice to see the end being complete and seeing that go down for me.
Man, so I guess I'm the only one that really liked the Dream versus Matt Riddle, man.
I knew
thought
you were
that
going.
was-
I knew
Oh,
you
no,
were
that
going to
was
say
dope.
that one. I
That
knew
was
you were
so
gonna say that one.
dope.
Dude,
And the entrance was insane by Dream, dude. That was nuts.
like the whole match, man. Matt
That
Riddle,
motherfucker is one of the greatest showmen in the last 10 years of professional wrestling.
hands down. Hands
Can't
down.
argue that.
He's a
And,
sports
it was such a styles clash. You got basically, you know, Matt Riddle, who's your
Bro.
MMA, you know, quote unquote indie guy, and then you got Dream, who quote unquote, even though he did wrestling, and he's
Self-made.
quote unquote the
a
WWE
WWE
made
guy.
guy.
Your
You know,
farm
he's all the
system.
presentation. Matt Riddle's just out there kicking ass, and he kicked his ass that whole match. And Matt Riddle slipped up for 1 second, and Velveteen Dream found a way to overcome it.
The
man.
storytelling in that was so good because they made, like, I'm not going to lie, man. There were a few
What a
times.
storytelling, Kyle.
What the hell? Dude, they had the game.
I'm
of-
fucking with you. Calm down.
I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, but like just the way they made it, like you just said, you know, Riddle was dominating him for so much of the match and really made you think, like, what the fuck is Dream gonna get
Watch
back
out for the
at him?
guns. They'll
You
get
know,
you.
Watch
but
your language, sir.
yeah, but then when they got back, man, like the way they ended that and it being so sudden like that,
I don't think I've ever seen that pin before.
It was an underdog win.
It was.
It was.
I enjoyed it.
I
man.
definitely hope they run that back. Like literally, everybody around me in my section was saying, I hope that they
got
run
good
that
chemistry.
back because that match to me was great too. That was another one that like because and it started from the front. Like literally every match, it was almost kind of like
It's NXT.
I mean, not that it's anything new, but like I said, I mean, I can't say it enough. Like that show from top to bottom just got better and better and better up till you got to the main event, and they just
I have a question. Who you think getting called up next week from NXT at the draft?
Who's left?
Who's
Right.
wait,
They already
no,
took.
but don't
they
take
already
anybody
took
else.
I don't think
So
Can't
you
take
think NXT is
anybody.
gonna be left alone?
They're gonna send. I want to say the Forgotten Sons. They gonna get they up there.
Ricochet and Aleister Black. There you go. That's your
That's
call
that has to be it because
yeah. I mean, they basically
Lars Sullivan.
Well, never mind. I take that
Meh.
back. You got this is a part you guys didn't get to see because they did off camera. I'm
The Shield thing?
I'm basically 100% sure that it's gonna be, you know, Alistair and Ricochet as we already know because they did like a big send off thing
Yeah.
once they went off the camera.
Oh
Like,
hell, they
they're-
did a 5-minute.
Well, yeah, they
did.
Because
They did
But
that.
on Raw yesterday, they still had the NXT logo
They
with his
did.
name
Well,
when it came
yeah,
up. He didn't have
no.
the Raw graphics.
They're getting drafted.
That's true.
separately.
I just think that they're probably gonna wait with that till the shakeup because they, like I said, after the lights went off, they did like a big like
Real
send
quick,
off
you
thing.
think they split them up or they keep them together?
I hope they split
They
them.
definitely split them.
I
up.
hope they
need
split them
to.
up.
They definitely split them.
I hope on both on different.
So wait,
shows.
have
But I
y'all-
like them. I
y'all
like
haven't
them
got
as
to
a tag
WrestleMania
team.
yet.
though.
No, not yet.
No, we're all
Actually, we got to move
Oh,
on.
so we don't know who won yet.
No, we don't saving that for
no,
later.
no.
But we got to move on. So
Oh no!
Saturday.
Shut up, Tony.
Did you go?
Saturday. What I do Saturday?
So Saturday, did you go
I
to
did the Hall of Fame.
Okay. Oh
Hey,
man.
was
now,
you there?
did you watch it yet? Because
I
know you
did.
said
We watched it.
I
We
did.
were
that.
watching.
Now, am I wrong? But that DX segment, that to me is like up there with the Fabulous Freebirds. Is one of my favorite
good.
Hall of
It
Fame
definitely
inductions.
It was good.
It was definitely my favorite.
I was
So
laughing my
yeah.
ass
So
off
you
that one.
you went to
I
Madison Square
I
Garden.
was at G1.
So talk to me about the Hall of Fame, man. What was that like? Is it as boring as I think it is?
It's not though, because again,
Would you
only
say
the
it
fans
depends
come.
on? Would you say it depends on the class though?
Yeah, definitely. It definitely depends on the class. But also, the Hall of Fame, only the fans are coming. Nobody's bringing their kids to the Hall of Fame. Not really.
Now you're the first one to text me about the whole thing with Bret Hart's guy. How is the atmosphere for that?
That was
Because like when the second you text me, I'm like, it ain't on yet. And then about 2 minutes
Yeah, 'cause
later,
I
they
tried
cut
to
to
see-
black.
I was trying to see what was the second delay, how many seconds they had to cover it. But it was so I looked down at my phone for 1 second, looked up. People was like jumping Bret Hart. I'm like, what kind of angle are they running right now with Bret Hart? I didn't know that's
Poor
real.
Bret.
Somebody jumped the crowd, and they like, yeah, it was surreal. I thought he really got hurt, but I just seen him lay.
Did you
lay
guys see
waste.
how quick Davy Boy and Travis Brown were all over
They
that
said-
dude?
that's kind of almost what made me
Big
think they were
E
going to
was
do
there.
something.
Oh yeah, Big E too.
That almost made me think they might
I
have
saw
been.
Big E dragging him out too, but I
'Cause
just
the New Day
remember
was right there.
all I could see from the video that I saw, because like I said, I was seeing it secondhand. Like the video I saw, you could see the guy tackle him, and then like you could see Biggie and some of the New Day come in from the side, but you saw Travis Brown come in sprinting.
He was the first
and
one.
just
He was
boom,
on
boom,
it.
boom, just laying
No,
them in right off rip.
The funniest thing to me, the funniest shit, was to see fucking Rockstar Spud run down the fucking aisle.
He's with it, though. We said that as we watched it. Like, he was like, you son of a bitch, not Brett.
Don't let the pompadour fool you. He'll fuck you up.
Dude, he was with it, though. As soon as they went, he was up.
And shout out to Dash Wilder for knocking that dude
Yeah,
the
man.
fuck out.
Them extra shots, them
Dash
extra couple
knocked his
shots.
He did it so slick, too. He just walked up the side, bitch, and it was one shot. It was literally one shot, and you just see the guy's head just...
Have you seen his mugshot?
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then the worst of it, they just
I
kept...
heard that
You
was
gotta send that to
him.
me.
Yeah, that wasn't him.
No, the
wasn't
one
him?
that got beat up, the one with the real fucked up face, that wasn't him. But we watched Kevin and I were watching it on YouTube. They had the whole story with it. Like, his face wasn't real messed up, but no, the one that everybody was passing around with the guy that was busted up, that wasn't him.
I'm like, that shows you.
Okay, yeah, that's what I figured.
Wait, so a quick question for you, man. When Booker T at the end of the speech was talking to Daniel Bryan saying that Kofi was going to win, what was the reaction like in the crowd, man?
Oh, I mean, it was good. Everybody was a coffee mania. Everybody did their thing. Everybody loved it.
Daniel played that all pretty
Yeah,
good.
Danny was looking around like,
That's how you stood up for a second, man. But all in all, next time, would you go to the Hall of Fame, or would you go if they have a G1 show the same day? Would you do G1?
It depends on the class. I went for this one because I grew up on DX. That's what really got me interested.
Okay.
That's been like the sentiment I've heard from the majority of people that are down there. Because there's like Kerry, like we got to meet up with past guests of the show, Kerry down there.
Yeah.
He goes to everything WWE. But like when you talk to people who are just going in there, like the general sentiment I got is it depends on the class. Like if I hadn't already had tickets to G1, once they started announcing the class, I told Devin leading up to it, I probably would have went to it just because it was DX, Harlem Heat. You know, like I would have gone for that one.
Yeah,
like last year,
Harlem
I
Heat
didn't
made
even
it worth
care.
it. DMX and Harlem Heat.
All right, so Kyle, talk to us about G1, man. Got to kind of
So
wrap it up.
It
kinda
was
quick.
totally insane because, like, literally as all the news was coming out about Bret Hart, Enzo and Cash jumped the rail as that was going everywhere. Like, that's what was so nuts. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Like, he's
Watch your language,
jumping
sir.
it. He's jumping it here. They're jumping it there. I'm like,
Does Cass still have the beer belly, or did he kind of slim up?
Kinda, but he's still big. But like, I'm not gonna lie though. Like, we gotta wait to see what they're doing on Ring of Honor. But at this point, I'm pretty sure. At first, I thought it was for real because the way they went out, dude, they were really. And then when Bully ran out, that's what got me at first because I'm like, wait a minute, this guy's trying to play the role of like fuck Ring of Honor. But now you're running out to come get a guy who's basically invading the show.
Right.
So I was like, I don't know, but then so we'll see what happens when
I
Ring
saw
of-
those looked like some stiff shots.
Well,
to
oh,
Enzo.
dude, they were
Those were
they were
stiff.
swinging for
So
real.
I can see. I'm like,
but
I don't know
that's
if
why
this
I'm
is real or
saying
not.
I think. I mean, we're gonna have to see what happens with it, but yeah, it was insane, especially the timing of it with that. As far as the show, there were a few things I didn't get. Like I didn't get the Dalton Castle thing. Like that didn't make sense to me. Like why you put him out that quick. But
I have no idea what you're talking about. 'Cause I didn't
So
see
it was Dalton.
what happened?
He
It
lost
was
in
Dalton
45
Castle.
seconds.
It was Dalton
that?
Castle versus Roosh. He lost in
How long?
35 seconds and turned on the boys.
What?
Yes.
Roosh came in, hit him with that drop kick in the corner, pinned him, and it was it.
He gave him the horns. Then he beat up the boys.
Yeah, and then he like and then Dalton gets up and just beat the piss out of the boys. And then, but
Boy,
dude, that ladder match for the Ring of Honor title, good God, it was dope. And congratulations to Matt Taven. Matt Taven definitely deserves a crack at that title. But all three of those guys killed it.
Good. Congratulations to God.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
Man, they.
Wait, did you see?
The press
Yes, I
conference.
Oh yeah, man. That
I appreciate that because he don't break character for nothing. He don't break character for
He
nothing.
chucked the belts
Chucked
like
Just-
and then Will Ospreay and Jeff Cobb was insane too, dude.
You know what? I was gonna text Kyle as soon as Okada won the title, and I was like,
Wait, Okada won the title?
Yep.
bro.
God
It was a great. It was a great. It was a great match.
finisher in the history
But
of
I
the
was
business.
I was just about to say something about that. So it was a great match. Like Jay White and Okada killed it.
Wrist
I don't have a problem with the match. My only
wrist lock
thing was
lariat ass.
they literally like hit him like he hit him with the Rainmaker like 5 times.
Yeah, he did.
Like which to me like I feel like doesn't that make
Your face real
your
whack.
finisher? And it wasn't even
is
because
whack.
like it wasn't even because Jay White kept kicking out of it. Like he would hit him with it, pick him up, hit him with it, pick him up, and I'm like.
You gotta do all that.
You know, like literally, he
gotta do
hit
all
it like
that.
4 or 5 times. But as far as the show as a whole, it was dope. And like the electricity in that arena, just I think because it's MSG, like it was It was nuts. And then the one thing that really caught me off guard though was when they did the women's match between Kelly Klein and Mayu Iwatani. Kelly Klein won, but then the beautiful people showed up, and
That's
them
dope, man.
and
That's
Mandy,
dope.
Mandy, and they saw my live tweets that I did for the show, liked them and retweeted them as soon as I put them out because they came in and now they're known as the Allure because they made it look like Mandy Leon was gonna help Kelly Klein, and then they just beat the hell out of her.
Yeah.
Kev, well, hey Tony, did you watch G1 Supercard?
I did not.
Okay. All right, well, we'll go to Kev. Kev, give you your thoughts about any other matches on there, anything else you want to talk about, then we'll move on.
The Naito and Kota Ibushi match.
Yes,
That's what I was
Oh
gonna
my
ask
God.
about that one.
Dopest match I've seen between them two ever. I've seen 3 matches with them. And this the first one I was like, okay. okay.
Yeah, like that. The crowd was going bananas for that, man. Like that match was sweet, for real. Like I said, that was definitely one that if there's going to be a show stealer outside the real big matches.
And Ospreay and Kyle.
Sweet. What did our boy Shane Taylor do?
Oh, dude, he came in. So Bully Ray had his.
My
big,
guy, shout out to Shane Taylor.
Yep, yeah, for sure. And I'm pissed because I bought it, Shane. I did buy the shirt I told you I was going to buy to wear to G1. It just got to my house after I left. I literally just got it today.
Thanks,
But,
Amazon.
Yeah, I know, right? But so yeah, it came down to Bully Ray coming out to call out who it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be him versus Juice Robinson, but then it turned out to be Flip Gordon. So it was Bully versus Flip Gordon. But then as soon as the match started, Silas Young and Shane Taylor came out and they're beating the hell out of Flip. Well, then here came Lifeblood. So then it became Mark Haskins, Juice Robinson, and Flip Gordon versus the Shane Taylor, Silas Young, and Bully. So yeah, they beat the shit out of each other. Flip Gordon looked like a G a couple times because they literally put like 5 kendo sticks to his head, and one by one, everybody just cracked the shit out of Flip.
Wow.
Ready to get in this big ass Mania card?
Yeah, but wait, before we get to the Mania card, we got to talk about Buffalo Wild Wings, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it
It was
from
live.
What I miss?
We had a big party here in
Yeah.
Detroit. While
Well,
you and I
you
were
were already there, so yeah,
Oh,
that's why I said you come to Buffalo Wild. He's like, no, I'm gonna be there. I'm like, well, shit, I'm mad at you then.
But shout out to Mikey and the crew from Breaking Down the Ring.
And
man.
celebrity guest,
Dude.
celebrity friend. That's our new celebrity friend who will be on the show. Please.
Please.
Mr. From former Michigan Wolverine and Cleveland Brown, Mr. Braylon Edwards showed up at the party, man.
See, so we got 2 connects. I got the Michigan one, you got the Cleveland one.
and the lady from Fox too.
Yeah, that too.
Braylon Edwards is that
Wait,
guy. He
we
used to be
talking
my
about
favorite
Riley?
at the time when he was in Michigan.
Wait, what was that, Tony?
Braylon Edwards was that guy, man.
I agree completely.
Yes, sir. And look, the weird thing was,
One of my friends back in the day named his son after Braylon Edwards. Like, that's how cold he was.
like one of my friends named her son after Braylon Edwards. But the weird thing was, like, I kept looking at this dude. I'm like, I know this guy from somewhere, man.
He came up
I
to
don't
me
know.
like-
I don't know where I know this guy from, man. And I just kept looking like, and he looked like he in really good shape. So I felt like he was an athlete, man. And then like,
He came over to me like, hey, that's Braylon Edwards. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, be cool. And I'm like, and I
Wait.
look, and I'm like, oh shit, that is Braylon.
wait, no, Seath, man.
Shout out to
Shout
yeah,
out to Seath, man.
because man, he fanned the hell
2
out.
shout outs in 2 weeks. You're doing good, sir.
I was subtle when you told me.
Wait, Seath, like he was like, no, you bullshit. I was like,
Turns around, gets up out his chair, and walks right over.
and I was like, Seath, breathe,
And
My
then
man.
breathe. Now go for it.
Then
Go
he
for
walks
it.
over to beelines right to him.
But shout out to Braylon Edwards, man. But Breaking Down the Ring, man, it was a great show, man. We gave out some great prizes.
I wanted that.
I played the whole upstairs was packed, man. We had to grab tables from the other side, man, to just get more people in there, man. So shout out to Buffalo Wild Wings. And can't quite make an announcement yet, but stay tuned. Something might be coming up with us and Buffalo Wild Wings. So I'll just leave it
Heyo.
like that. So
Good promo.
yeah,
Man.
we call that a radio tease. Yes, but Kyle, this was your first time coming to one of the parties, right?
Yeah. Since our old school days at Bailey's.
Right. So what did you what were your thoughts about the parties, man? What are the highlights?
Great atmosphere. One thing I love about the wrestling community, the good side of it, is that when fans don't make fun of each other and try to down each other for liking the same shit.
Right.
We all can come together because there are people I never met before, and we just chilling and talking to each other like we old friends because we all love wrestling.
Definitely.
You know, and that's the one thing. It's
that
just,
one
it's just
thing,
engaged.
that one thing you just said, made me bring up a question that I got for everybody in the room right now. So y'all John Cena fans again, huh?
Hey, I didn't.
Look, dude.
I didn't boo
Yeah.
him. I didn't boo
Yeah,
him.
Hold on a minute.
That's private.
Before I can
I
say
want a
anything,
handwritten apology, a 4-page handwritten apology from each and every single one of you motherfuckers.
wait a minute. I didn't say I had a problem with this fool. Like,
Every single, I want a 4-page handwritten apology.
I'm not a fan, but I didn't boo him this time.
but I have to say,
Yeah,
I think shout out
Progress.
to Orlando Christopher, because I saw a post that he put out like right after that had happened, and he was talking about how young guys in the business need to watch that, and like how how that you can steal a show with a promo. Because literally, dude, when his music hit with the Thugonomics part, and then he started cutting into Elias, that crowd was going
beat ups.
was.
Everybody went nuts. The second you saw that, because we're wondering like, okay, what the hell are they doing with a 90-second Babe Ruth video?
what is this?
And shout out to Cena for not being no hoe, because he came out in the Yankees jersey. That took a lot of pride. The guy from Boston, that took balls. I give him credit on that one.
Yeah.
So how do you want to go about the card, Devin?
So
Do you want? I think the
predictions
first
or-
thing we need to talk about is the pacing of it, because like I didn't see that going the way it did.
all I'm saying, we got to save Becky and Kofi for last.
Oh sure, no, I'm
but-
saying like just the way the overall card was like structured, because it was kind of weird, and I don't know
What
about
was it
you.
like sitting in
Yeah,
that
I was
arena
gonna
for
say.
7
I wanted to
freaking
ask you
hours?
like
That's the only thing
what
that makes
were-
me
He was there like that
apprehensive.
last year for 7 hours.
It wasn't bad for me. The pacing, I mean, it was definitely. I didn't expect Brock and Seth to start off.
See,
That
but the
was
Kofi thing threw me off too, because like just the way where they put him on the card.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. Thinking about being a smart, and I was around other smarts. We knew. All right. Once Seth won, we got kind of nervous. Like what with the Kofi situation?
Me too.
Because you knew Becky was gonna win, so it's like somebody got to lose.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so to get real,
Chris Jericho said the same thing. He said if Seth wins, then you already knew.
yeah.
They
Yeah,
ain't gonna give it all to
But
us.
looking back, I
I
understand.
said the same thing last week, thank you.
I did too.
But looking back at
Well,
it
this year,
now,
Manny was fan favorite.
Yeah, but look at my fucking scorecard.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
gave you
Ooh,
something. to
Jen
get
Dib shooting shots at you, Tony. You better be careful, bro.
Hey, shout out.
Who should have said for me?
Jen Dib said Tony Thunder brings the fire on the phone. Let's see him bring it to his match so he doesn't get beat up.
Real
oh
quick.
no! Oh no!
First of all, Jen Deb, what you not gonna do is sit up there and say things about Tony Thunder that you gonna regret later. How about next Saturday in Wyandotte, Michigan at the Copeland Center, you come see me win the Alliance Championship. How about that?
That's a promo.
That's what's up.
Actually, that's another thing I forgot to mention about Access. I was talking to Drew Gulak about his time in Beyond, and we were talking about
Oh, nice.
Chase Burnett and Zane Silver as well.
Shout out former
Oh,
past
nice.
guest. But
Shout out to Gulak.
Yeah, he's such a cool dude too. Like he was totally down to earth. Sat there and shot the shit with me about Beyond for a minute. So
So you want to do the pre-show in like 30 seconds?
so pre-show.
I didn't get to
I
see
missed
the
the pre-show.
cruiserweight title match either, so I can't say anything. I know who won, but I was
Yeah, I know who won.
I ain't seen any of the pre-show.
I was helping my friend Becca get to her seat because she had no clue where the hell she was going. So by the time I got to my seat, I had just got down to my row as Tony Nese was already like,
Walking away.
yeah.
I still
So I
haven't seen
didn't
that
see
match
it.
yet. I gotta go back and watch that match.
Yeah, I gotta go back and
I
watch
think
it
I was
too.
parking when that happened.
So Buddy Murphy lost to Tony Nese.
I
Bam.
lost that one.
All right.
Pre-show don't count.
No one cares
Pre-show
about the
count.
women's battle royal. Really don't care about the
won.
I went, and that's why I went to change my car.
Hey, I just want to say,
when I went to go
it
change my
was
parking spot.
almost 2 years in a row. Almost 2 years in a row that your boy Tony Thunder picked out the women winner of the Battle Royal. I just want to put that out there.
Who won again?
Carmella.
Oh shit.
Huh?
He
No,
has-
I didn't pick Carmella this
No,
year.
he
I
was
picked the
saying-
person that Carmella eliminated,
No,
who I
he-
thought initially won.
Yeah,
Who'd she
he
eliminate?
Sarah
But
Logan.
last year
Sarah
I called
Logan.
Naomi to win it, and she won it. This year I called Sarah Logan, and yeah.
She was down to the final two.
I think I called Oscar.
And y'all laughed at me when I said Sarah Logan. Y'all laughed at me.
No, I didn't
said
because
Dana
I picked
Brooks, so-
Sonya Deville, and Sonya Deville was right down at the end too.
Hey Tony, but she didn't win.
But yeah, man, like the pre-show was a little bit weird, but honestly, man, the thing out of the pre-show, I got to hear your thoughts on this too. But
I missed most of the pre-show.
were you there? Were you there by the time Ryder and Hawkins went?
at the very end.
Yo, Ryder and Hawkins match was good. Like, it was a good tag team wrestling
Ryder
match.
match.
And, well, they both, I mean, Kurt Hawkins got good shine in it. Both sides, like, the Revival and it really was a good match. And I thought that the finish was awesome. Like, to have him win by, like, a slick little small package like that, it was sick. And the crowd went nuts with them being from New York. So, like, I thought it was well done. And the way they carried it into Raw the next night, well done.
I have no idea what happened in that match. All right, so the men's battle royal, Braun Strowman won.
Meh.
Yeah.
That shit was dumb.
Yeah, great job
Everybody
with
in
the
the
SNL
arena-
guys over the last couple weeks. That really paid off.
Honestly, dude, I don't think anybody in the arena gave a shit about that.
Not at all.
Colin Joe's still winning because he's dating Scarlett Johansson. So
Winning. All right.
An Avenger.
So, yeah. I really don't want to go match through match.
we can't. There's not
Just
enough
hit the
time.
big points.
So, Kev, what was one of your favorite moments? Not Kofi and not Becky Lynch.
Well, the fact of the matter is
I
that
got the perfect
Brock is not champion.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing. Like, okay.
I started out the damn pay-per-view with the L.
Did you?
I picked Brock, man.
Did you?
I thought they were gonna put. I
I
thought they were
did
gonna
too.
swerve us again, man. I'm like, they swerved us last year. Why not again this year?
No, this year's WrestleMania was definitely fanfare because they like everybody that's supposed to win definitely won.
I got the perfect match that's not
I'll-
Becky and him.
You want to go?
Yeah, because I want to hear his thoughts on what I'm going to say. So the one for me that really got me, I was a big fan of what happened with the Batista and Triple H match, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, man. I watched that one, too.
From front to back, I thought it. Again, storytelling, dude. Like the way they sold both of them being, beat up throughout the match. The part where Triple H put the chair on his throat and tried to yank the nose ring after they had talked so much trash about it leading up to it.
I couldn't
like
watch that.
And the entrances were obviously Triple H always has a dope entrance. I thought Batista's was good because his is one of my favorite theme songs of all time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like when he
I ain't gonna lie.
the whole
I was
crowd,
always a Batista guy.
the whole crowd was singing along to it. But the question I have for you is, I don't know how it was in your section, but the one thing that like always drives me nuts at WrestleMania or any other show, like there were so many people just bitching about like, oh, this is stupid. Well, why did they do this? And like,
Did they
dude,
not watch?
if we paid $400 or whatever you paid to come here, whoever it is, whether you're in the front, back, wherever you're at, you paid money to come here. Sit down, shut the fuck up, and watch the show.
Watch your language.
True.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I liked everything that happened on the card, but dude, like,
Why go ironically?
They literally the whole show, like, literally just had something to say about everything, and I'm like, dude, will you just?
That kind of
like,
ruins the experience. That happened to me
please,
when I
will you
went to
just
some,
shut? Like, will you shut up?
I was lucky enough to have pretty good people surrounding me, so everybody was pretty supportive and enjoyed it.
Wait, didn't you say you were? Which one? You said you were the only black guy in your section when they had when they had Hogan come out, and everybody looked at you.
So when he came out, I just
Oh my God! I recorded it and tried to send it to Devin, but I didn't have service.
Everybody just
You should have heard it at Buffalo Wild Wings, man. There was plenty of booze, man.
And the thing was, it was about what, like a 70-30 split between us and other races. Well, we'll let you know who was cheering for him and who wasn't, because all the black people were like, really, really.
Yeah, I sat down. Everybody looked at me and was like, "You know about to do it, are you?"
Nope.
They were like,
No, there was
Yeah,
there was
like-
that one black guy that actually started doing it, doing the Hogan thing. We all looking at him like,
I mean,
really, really.
I mean, although there were some people that yelled for it, obviously is the nostalgia, but dude, it really wasn't like.
That was it.
Even in the arena, it wasn't like.
And he just came out. He didn't do nothing else.
But
He
here's
just
the
came
thing: I
out.
knew it was a test. Not
It was
NXT,
a test.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame. He came out for the Hall of Fame, and they
Right.
cheered for him.
Knew
I
they
figured,
did.
okay, that's the test. They're gonna bring him out for WrestleMania for sure.
Knew they didn't.
No, I love watching them because Big E.
Oh yeah, the look on their face. We were
E
talking
ain't-
about that when we were watching it.
Big E ain't messing with. He just like,
Oh really? I didn't see.
oh, Big E stone face. He just chilling. Like
Xavier
Kofi's
Woods.
playing with his son. Xavier, I think, was looking on his phone. Big E straight looking at him like, nah, fuck with you. He just looking at him like,
Yeah,
nah,
like, you
I
could
ain't
tell
with it.
that
I
he
ain't with it.
didn't.
Hey, Mr. Thunder, what was one of your favorite
That's
moments? One of your favorite moments from Mania, man. Not Kofi and not Becky Lynch.
Oh, man, since you took those two out the equation, my favorite part is when, I mean, I kind of mentioned the John Cena thing earlier, but my favorite part would have to be when the referee was like, 2.
What?
Wait, what?
Yeah, that was my favorite part. You know, when the ref was like, 2.
contest.
Tony.
And that was my favorite part.
What
I'm
match?
lost.
Tony, come on.
Superstar
He's
tonight
fucking
though has
around.
to be the lights guy, the production crew.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Superstar
I have to get this out there because it. Oh my God! I literally tweeted about it. And 5 people retweeted it within like the first fucking 2 minutes.
Watch your
So
language.
literally in Orlando, the same exact thing happened, the same exact way, in the same exact spot in the trellis. Like where
So next year you're gonna switch where you buy your seat.
No, and I'll tell you the reason why. The reason why though, Tampa, the way Tampa's going to be set up, like they got so much flack for it. Like you guys may have seen some of it on Twitter, but like legitimately, like throughout the whole arena,
This
it was
is
not.
this is the thing though, because this
Yeah.
happened like the
It's
last couple of
every,
years.
Every show.
It seems to happen. It seemed like it was only the outside shows, but literally, dude, like the one that it really
I had
hit
issues-
for
I had
was the
issues at
Orton
Raw.
AJ Styles match.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it was literally
Because I texted him, I'm like, "What is the?" I texted him like, "Is the crowd booing the match?" And he's like, "No,
No.
we can't see anything."
No, and the thing was they were shining the light, like literally it was a red light and a yellow light, and because of the 2 different colors, it just made it like just blare right at you. Then they finally turned it back to like 2 red lights and you could see better, but like you literally, if you were sitting in anywhere, and it didn't really matter where you sat, because on the left side it did it, the right side and straight center. So that's why I said no, I wouldn't move my seats because it didn't matter. But yeah, it really screwed up the AJ Randy match.
It did.
I'll go mine real quick. Iconics, called that shit.
Iconics.
I called that shit. I'm like,
That was-
I just feel that when I'm like,
I called that shit
feel
first.
it. I'm like, I feel, I feel something with them. So I'm like, when they won, I did a victory lap around Buffalo Wild Wings.
I think it was cool, man, but I thought that
Hey, but look, shout out to my granny for saying that the Iconics was gonna win, which is the reason why I picked them in the predictions. So shout out to my
shout
granny.
out to Granny.
What about you, Doug?
Shout out to Payne Royce. Fuck Billy Kay.
He's mad
Oh,
shit-
and by
he's
the
mad
way,
shit
by the
with
way, Granny went 16-0 in fucking predictions this year, so I'll be using all her predictions next year.
She won 16-0 this year.
Shout out to Grant. Well,
Granny went 16-0.
Wow.
we'll go to you, man. What was your favorite moments, man?
My favorite moment was probably
Not Kofi or Becky Lynch.
ooh.
You just took his pick.
Yeah, you did. Well, probably just John Cena.
I saw it in his eye.
Thugonomics.
That I mean, honestly,
Thugonomics
dude,
was
that
cool for me.
Thugonomics part seriously did steal a good portion of the show because I don't think anybody expected him to come out with Thugonomics.
I have a theory. The only reason he went back to that is so he can wear a hat again, so you don't have to show that damn haircut.
Well, I mean, he didn't show
But he
up.
still got to wrestle without the hat.
He didn't.
He wore the hat to the ring. He wore the hat to the ring like when he was still doing it.
Yeah.
I will say my most disappointing moment was Baron Corbin going over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I told y'all. I got that one right, too.
I did too. I picked
Why
Corbin
is
too.
everybody surprised, man?
I don't get why they in love with him so much. Man. It's-
That-
It's not that.
You know
Well,
why?
dude,
wait.
the
You want to know why? Because everybody hates him. That's exactly why.
And dude,
Everybody
like,
hates him.
No, I mean,
they do hate him, bro.
I got to tell y'all off air,
He's getting X.
you know.
But and then what made
Is
it
still
worse?
X-Pac or is it called Nia Jaxie?
It was, and then what made it worse, bro, is that when they did his entrance to the ring, they announced him as WrestleMania's favorite son, and the whole crowd just started looking at each other. What? Like, what the fuck did you just say?
Were you in the weren't you in the armbar last year?
Like, yeah, and so, but it was crazy when you think about it, because then we find out the next night that in one night we saw Angle go, we saw Batista go, and then the next night Dean Ambrose left WWE, at least for however long, we don't know.
Right.
But like I said, it's crazy to think that all that happened.
And then Taker doesn't show up there, but he shows up the next night.
yeah, but I think that was a good thing, though,
It was.
because I didn't think that was who it was going to be, and especially with the promo that Elias
Oh, I
cut.
did because he kept on saying things that was making.
Yeah, but he also said he also made it sound like it could be somebody coming up from NXT. He goes, I don't care if it's in NXT was the last one he named, and then he said is a dead man.
Well, so for me, real quick, one of my favorite moments was, even though I was mad that they teased it before, the Demon, man. Seeing the Demon at WrestleMania, I thought was great.
Good entrance. Good entrance.
I mean, it would have been better if it was a surprise. It would have been much better if it was a surprise.
I
What's wrong,
agree.
Tony?
They spoil it every time. Haven't
Tony
they?
didn't like how
But
they
see,
set up the
also,
demon thing.
it's not even the fact that they spoiled it. It's the fact that they didn't use it when it was necessary against Brock. Not only that,
True.
it wasn't even a special demon. It wasn't even like a special WrestleMania demon, like a Joker or Punisher or some sweet shit like that. No, it was the regular ass
Hey,
demon that we saw last time with the
hold
same
up, hold up,
fucking
hold
face
up.
paint.
Josh Goulden, you were in the arena too, man. Let us know what's your favorite Mania moment was. My buddy that went with us is.
Oh yeah, shout out to
watching
Rey Mysterio for coming out as Mysterio. I called
That
that.
was
That was that.
I'm
That's
sorry.
dope.
During
That's
that
dope.
match, went to the bathroom, came back, it was over.
Yeah.
He had a busted
That
ankle,
match,
man.
that match
His entrance
bummed me
was
out,
longer than the
dude.
match.
He had a busted ankle, man.
The
Yeah,
best thing
I'm
about
not
that
mad
was his
about
ring
that.
attire.
Okay.
He came out as Mysterio.
Screw all this shit. Let's get down
To get
to the real
to nitty
shit.
gritty.
How many of y'all cried when Kofi Kingston won
Oh,
the
I
championship?
cried.
That arena was nuts, bro.
Dog,
cried.
You know what? I'll say this though, and I appreciate the relationship we might be having with Buffalo Wild Wings, but y'all need to control y'all staff because they were cutting some hella onions in that motherfucker. So I don't know what happened, but just the smell of onions just wafted near me, and I cried. Yeah, I mean I'm a grown man, I cried a little.
Mr. Thunder?
Man, I would say it like this, man. I was in a room full of white people, and I had to excuse myself to go to the bathroom because I know they wouldn't understand. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the
Hey, that's
bathroom
not
right quick,
fair,
and I
Tony.
came back with a dry face, and I'm like, nah, it ain't shit. Real players roll how players roll. And I was like, I'm gonna go home and watch this match again, and I cried like Randy.
Oh, damn!
Wow.
We came with your face.
Randy's like, what?
Like what?
No, ignore it. Kev?
Yeah, you know what? I was
No, never mind.
I was in the bed watching it.
He was supposed to finish a quote for me.
Huh?
Continue.
Oh,
Keep
Randy?
going.
He was supposed to finish a quote for me.
Keep it going, man.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said,
Yeah. We'll come back to that.
I was in bed.
You act
watching
like
the
I
match.
pay attention to the show.
Thanks for that.
Wow.
We're just glad he's not eating a sandwich anymore.
His subscribers aren't.
And at least we can't see his Facebook on the live no more.
Well, let's just go around. Let's go around the room real quick. Everybody, just talk about your Kofi moment, man. If you want to talk about the match, if you want to talk about the historics of it, go ahead. Kev, we'll start with you, man.
I just enjoyed the whole thing. It's not no one particular part. It's just the fact of the matter that they gave it to him. I was happy about that. That's all that really matters to me. I sat there and was in bed and was like, and my wife was like, "Are you crying?" Like, yes.
For me, I didn't think they were gonna do it. I'm like, it's just you're not gonna give us that. And when they did, I ain't gonna lie. I don't think I've ever watched a match where I have some matches I love. Some matches I just think are my all-time favorites. Yeah, my guy won. But when the ref counted 3 and it wasn't no chicanery, that hit me, man. That hit me like, oh wow, we got one.
Mr. Collison, you were there.
So my only thing, I was bummed because I missed the entrances because nobody knew that was going on when it did. Like, I got up to go to the bathroom. Obviously, I got my Crohn's. It happens. Anyways, but nobody, and I would
Yep. I
say
went to-
nobody,
I went to get
I
some
think
snacks.
really knew that it was coming next. So then I heard the musical. I'm like, oh shit, you've got to
Yep.
be kidding me.
Watch your language.
I thought Triple H was gonna go on.
Yeah,
next.
that's because what was
Come
my-
on,
what was
it's Triple H.
well,
You
I
don't
wish
go
y'all would
that
stop
hard.
fucking cussing. This is Justin Timberlake's favorite pro wrestling and MMA podcast.
yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody expected it to come, but as far as the match
That's
itself,
what she said.
I knew that was coming. I knew as soon as I said that.
No, Devin got me though. 'Cause I'm like, I ain't gonna do
yeah,
it.
I saw him. I saw his nod of the head. I was like, damn.
That's
I,
what she said.
what?
That's what she said.
I knew it was coming, dude.
Finish your point.
But yeah, anyways, as far as the match, like the thing I liked about it, man, is they kept building it up like Kofi was about to win, and then kept stopping it. I'm like, oh shit, dude. Like I wanted him to win.
Good
so
momentum
I'm
in
like,
that match,
dude,
too, 'cause
like
it- 'cause
I
it built.
legit. They legit made me think, oh shit, here he goes. And then when he pulled it out, because they had so many false finishes in there, like it's. I'm gonna keep going with it just to make you motherfuckers laugh. You stupid piece of shit.
Watch your language.
Anyways.
Favorite pro wrestling and MMA podcast.
Anyways,
he felt like a bitch.
anyways, I wasn't trying to bean you in the face. I wasn't trying to give you a black eye.
That's what she
But anyways, the match, man. It like the way they went back and forth the whole time, man. And I really thought they weren't going to give it to him. And when he won, that place fucking erupted. I don't think there was one person in there that wasn't like losing it. Because when he won, and especially with as many times as they made you think, here it goes.
Yep.
Yeah, it was dope.
I've never been so emotionally tied to a match before, other than this. Like, I was so nervous. Look at the guys behind me. I'm screaming. I'm getting hoarse. I couldn't even look. Sometimes I couldn't even look. Like, oh, I can't see you. Tell me when it's over.
I thought the coolest part was him having when they brought his kids and everything in
awesome.
like that.
Yeah,
It was dope.
They telegraphed it though with the damn pedestal though.
Mr.
See,
Thu-
I didn't see that. I didn't look at that.
Mr. Thunder, your thoughts about the match, about the moment, anything you got to say about it, man?
Man, it meant so much to a lot of people, man, and even Kofi himself didn't realize the impact that it had. I mean, if you look and you see, Chris Bay and MVP and Chad Gaspard, from Mark Henry trickled all the way down to Tony Thunder, like that was a moment that gave us all hope for the future. And as small as it may seem, like I said, the most important moments in Black history is the "I Have a Dream" speech, Obama becoming president, and Kofi winning the WWE Championship.
Wow. We really haven't done shit then.
It's cool, man, because like I don't think with something like this, obviously it's
Think about
different.
representation, man.
Yeah, and it's different. I mean, I know it's different for me than everybody else around me right now, but I can't sit here and act like, when he won, dude, it was just nuts. Like, it was cool to see it finally happen. Everybody knows, everybody can say that they were Black world champions, but it was world heavyweight champion. Everybody knew the significance. Unless you're just don't know much about the business, if you're like super
many
casual.
arguments I got into
But
on the
like
weekend
at
about that.
anyone that actually, watches every week, man, like everybody was just like, yo, this is dope. Everybody knew what was up with it.
I have a question for y'all. With the controversy about The Rock, them counting The Rock as half.
The Rock was a black champ. People need to cut it the fuck out. I'm sorry, Justin Timberlake. I know this is your favorite pro wrestling MMA podcast. I didn't mean to cuss. But people need to get off that, man. Like, Rock was a black champ.
If that's the case, then
Obama was a black president.
Obama
Rock was a
doesn't
black
count.
champ. See,
I
the
agree.
issue that people have, I guess, is that he's not black enough and that they only talk about his Samoan heritage. But if you look at his Samoan side of the family versus his black side of the family, which one had more of an impact on pro wrestling?
Exactly.
First
If
guys
the
I ever
WWE
saw.
considers him black and honors him black in February, even if it is just in fucking February, they still honor him as black. Therefore, he was been a black WWE champion.
First black guys I ever saw wrestle were Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas. First black people I ever saw in wrestling when I was a kid.
First African American tag team
Mine
champion.
was Ron Simmons when he was Ron Simmons.
Dude.
He was named after his black dad. I mean,
You know
come
the
on.
Gladiator? Remember the Gladiator? WCW?
Yep, I do
All
remember
right,
that.
let me get mine out. I need y'all to lay out for a second, okay? I'm gonna try not to cry doing this. Okay.
Don't try. You in the trust tree.
Okay. All right.
There's a camera on you though.
Oh, by the way, if anybody has footage of me crying on Sunday, please send it to me and post it. I'm not ashamed. But so last year, me and Kyle went to Astronomicon and we talked to Booker T. That to me was one of those moments where it's like, man, I'm actually talking to one of the guys that won world championship. A black guy that actually won the world championship. For me, that was like a great moment for me. And like in my head for years, I kept thinking like, so who's gonna be the next one? All right, maybe it'll be Ricochet. Maybe it'll be
Elijah
Velveteen
Burke.
Dream. Maybe it'll be all these different people. And like to think that the guy has been there the whole time. Not only like the fact that he was a black guy, it's a guy that's been there for 11 years and had been looked over even by me. Like I'm like maybe Big E to be the one. Maybe it'd be Big E.
Yeah.
But Kofi, man, and it's like Kofi, he does not meet the criteria, quote unquote. He's not a big guy. He's black.
He's not a high flyer technically.
Technically.
Yeah.
But he has dreadlocks. He dances. He twerks. He's not championship material. But he is. Dude, the reason why I went to Cleveland for Fastlane was because I thought maybe I would see him in the match. I paid $300 just so I could have a seat for Fastlane because I might get a chance to see a black guy in a World Heavyweight Championship match. So for that moment to actually happen, man, I lost it, man. Like, shout out to Stephanie, man. She literally had to console me because, like, I lost it. I was trying not to cry, but I lost it, man. And it's all about representation, man. When you see people like you out there doing amazing things, it just does something to you. Kyle, you went to Old Wrestling, was it last week or the week before? Because there's a guy that wrestles Gregory Irons.
Gregory Iron, yeah.
Gregory Irons, who has CP. So for you,
Jeremy Irons is somebody completely different.
Shout out to Gregory Iron though, because they showed him all over NXT during the Gargano match.
True, but that's
Hey, shout out to Gregory. He been killing the wrestling scene for like the last 10 years.
For real, that dude's
Right.
a savage, bro. And seeing him in
but
person,
that's your representation. You have a guy, and
The last one was King Booker.
technically it was Mark Henry.
Mark
but,
Henry.
I was gonna say Mark Henry had a hell of a run when he did the Hulk.
He did.
page.
But I wasn't watching at that time.
Yeah, that's all. That's
But
what I forgot about.
man, it's
Just saying.
all I can say is that as much as I criticize the WWE, thank you for doing the right thing, man. And people were like saying like, oh man, they keep screwing Kofi over. I'm like, dude, they're building it up.
It's a good storytelling.
They're building it up. Look, they messed up a lot of build up for WrestleMania. They got this one right.
You know what?
Absolutely.
They got this one right. Kev?
Shout out to Aaron, because 4 years ago, he told me, he said, if Kofi doing that clap with New Day, he going to be world champion one day. He told me this. And I looked at him like,
Dude,
okay.
And like the cool thing about it was, man, like, again, I totally, not in the same way, but I understand the significance for you guys for sure. But like the cool part of the whole match, like just the feel in the arena, period. Like when he won, and they like again with as many times as they teased it, like it. Like the whole arena, dude, it was just like I feel like there wasn't one person. It didn't matter whether you were white, black, Asian, Mexican, whatever you want to say.
Right.
Like everybody in there was just like, yo, this guy deserves it. It's dope. This is historic.
And, and there's one guy that I think is really not talked about. And honestly, he's probably the biggest champion of this whole thing happening. Daniel Bryan.
So I was about to say that.
Dude.
To take that pin?
Dude, I'm willing to bet money. Daniel Bryan said, "Let's do it."
I would bet money.
I will bet. I will
type.
bet a year's salary that Daniel Bryan was the one that went in there and really fought for this too, because he understood the moment. And they told the story. They basically Kofi was Daniel Bryan from WrestleMania 30.
Like I said, I got my girlfriend slowly into wrestling over the last couple months, and this is the only other storyline I showed her besides Becky Lynch. And I'm like, people make fun of wrestling, oh, it's fake and all that stuff. I'm like, but when you're invested in this and they do it right, like the storytelling, it just hits an emotion with you.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, not just with Kofi, but like with Becky Lynch. I've been a fan of Becky for a while, and
Good
I've said it
transition,
on
son.
here
Good
that she is one of the most underrated women wrestlers. I'm like, because she's really not, she doesn't have any problems in the ring. On the mic, I don't think she's bad. Some
I don't
people don't
either.
like her accent, but I'm like, cutting a promo, I like her. I like the corny dad jokes. I'm a dad joke type of guy. And seeing that, like I showed her the Royal Rumble. I showed her the whole lead up in the promo package before that, and then I skipped right to where Carmella gets taken out, and she even marked it. She's, oh wow, they bring it. I'm like, this is good story. This is why I love wrestling, because that emotion when I saw Becky come out at 30 right after Carmella, I'm like, oh, they really gonna do this shit. Like I really didn't think they were gonna actually do it. So that's why I love wrestling.
Glad I called that one, because everybody
feeling
was like,
they give you.
Wait, so Kyle, since you started it off, man, why don't you go ahead and talk about the match? Or anything you got to say about that?
I'll say this,
and then we'll get to our picks.
I think it was a good match. I think it would maybe have been one of those things where you built it up so much that I don't know if any physical match could have actually lived
or
up
you had
to
been
it.
there for 7 freaking hours and you were kind of
That's
tired.
something to do with it too, because
Wait,
my leg
no.
had kind of fallen asleep too. I like the fact that they gave Charlotte the Ric Flair, was not Starcade,
the helicopter.
the helicopter,
But
which was like her dad in
Well,
'88.
Starcade.
But it was a good match. I'm still trying to find out whether that was legitimately supposed to be the finish, or if it really was possibly an error, or if it's going to be in a storyline. When the 3 went down, I didn't have the same emotion I had when Kofi did it, because I was a little shell-shocked. Like, wait, that's it?
Wait, her shoulders came up though. Wait.
Yeah.
Well,
there's
you
a picture. Her shoulders
It kind
are
of
not
looked like
touching.
when I think they wanted to go with the roll up, but I think with the way when Ronda rolled through for the Piper's Pit, like you could see.
You see daylight underneath her shoulders.
Yeah, like you could see she was stumbling on the way through, and I think it was supposed to be one fluid like roll, and her shoulders would have been down, but you could see Ronda just from being tired. But that being said, like
So, yeah, go ahead.
that being said,
give
man,
your thoughts, man.
like that being said, like I give Ronda a lot of credit, because even though it was a triple threat match, I think for somebody that hasn't been wrestling that long, to me, I feel like she held up her end of the bargain in the match, and especially when. And I'll tell you why. The reason why is even when it came down to when Charlotte was working on the leg and was trying to do the figure 4 and all that, they beat the shit out of Ronda's leg for a minute, and she was
Oh, she was purple, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. So, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she was, like, perfect or anything, but I think for her lack of experience as opposed to the 2 people that were in the ring with her, I think she stepped up. And like you said with the Becky thing, like, I had met her the day before that, and she was talking with everybody
A race to
about
the bell.
But
That
she was
huge.
talking with everybody about that, like,
Is her accent really that thick in person?
yeah.
Oh, God,
yeah,
that's hot.
definitely. Like, she's cool ass people too. But like
seems like it.
when she was talking about it, like you can just tell, like her and Seth both, like
Does Seth think you're stalking him by now?
well, considering I've only been to 2 and there were people that had been to every workout they'd done. No, but
He's been the 2.
but anyway, they like just you could tell how much it meant to him, which to me made it all the more cool when she did win.
Did anybody just straight up ask her like, "You winning?"
Well, no, because she wasn't in the whole workout with us. So, like, we didn't really get to talk to her long. But when she came in, she came right in and started taking pictures with everybody.
Ah.
Like, but I'm just saying, having gotten to see, like, how much you could tell it meant to her just by the way she was acting with everything, I don't know, just to me, it made it all the more cool.
All right, so Kev, why don't you go ahead and share your thoughts about Becky, Charlotte, the match, the moment, whatever you want to say.
Like, the match was kind of underwhelming for me because I was like, yeah, the way it ended, I was like, so, you know, I was like, where's Earl Hebner? You know, so I was thinking, but
Mr. White, what are
I
you doing?
think
with
my
that gun?
favorite part of the whole match is when Charlotte was chopping Ronda, and she was like, "You chop like a bitch."
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite part.
You know, I thought they was gonna start it over because it ended so. I'm like, someone gonna come on and say restart the match, and they're gonna give it to Charlotte.
Well, because there was, like, that big pause afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, before they played the music and everything.
It was like a Taker thing when
Yeah.
when Lesnar beat Taker. You're like, wait, was that
But-
supposed to happen? But then they threw the graphic up, so that one was I'm like, oh, so she won. Yeah, Becky. All right,
Yeah,
straight
like-
fire up in this bitch.
I thought Vince was gonna come out.
I just thought they did such a. I think from the entrances to everything, like you mentioned how Charlotte had the Starcade entrance. You know, I'd love to hear your thoughts. The Joan Jett entrance for Ronda in the arena to me was dope.
It was
It was dope because I didn't know how it was gonna I didn't know if she was gonna sound okay. I didn't know if it was gonna sound like shit. But
Bunch of language.
the energy in the arena, like when she came out, like it had that.
Was it
big
just
fight.
me, or was she the only one that's never acknowledged the band that's playing? Like she walked straight past like Joan Jett. She
Out of
just
all the-
beeline
No,
triple pass.
she said there. It's
She
not,
did
Yeah,
because
she
it
smiled.
looked like she
I
just
was about to say
went
no.
past
no,
it.
she
Triple
get-
H is the only one that act like he's still part of the band. And
Like,
stuff.
I'm used to like that. I've
No,
seen Cena.
she stopped and
And
gave
smiled.
him a look like
Yeah.
she didn't
She
really
gave a smile?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
she stopped and looked over to her and then
Yeah, she smiled at her like, "Hey, Joe."
But
all right,
yeah,
serious
it was
face.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
she gotta concentrate. Like I'm a bad guy now. That's,
I'm just
constipated
glad
wall.
that it was able to keep the big match feel because I don't know
Yeah.
about you, but I feel like a lot of the people in our section by the end of it kind of were like,
I
it
was.
seemed like people were like,
The energy was
Exhausted.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Exhausted.
It was so
12
like,
o'clock.
Ubers
Of
weren't coming and
course.
shit.
I don't even want to fuck.
Did you throw the beach ball?
No,
Cesaro is watching.
Mr. Thunder, your thoughts on Becky,
That's me.
Becky,
Man,
Charlotte,
that-
and Ronda?
I mean, I just want to shout out to the whole women's division for really stepping it
Agreed.
the fuck up in the last couple of years, man. I mean, women's wrestling had its ups and downs, you know, because I grew up watching the Lunch of Blaze versus Bull Nakano, and like those matches were great. You know, that they were hard hitting, great matches. They had just as great as matches the men. Then you had that era where it was the match that the women were in were pillow fights inside of a pool of Jello and things like that. So, you know, for them to main event WrestleMania is a huge step forward. Hopefully we can start seeing more integration of women versus men in WWE. They're kind of teasing it and teetering on it. So I'm just happy to see where the movement is going with the equality in women's wrestling as being held to the same standard as men in wrestling. And I think outside of the abrupt finish that the match was great, and you know it stood its own, it handled its own.
Wait, I'll say mine real quick. 7.5 hours, man. I was exhausted.
Yeah,
like
tell me about it.
after and especially after the whole Kofi thing.
I was
man,
legit
like, pretty
tired
much after
during
Kofi
I had to go
won.
get coffee.
Everybody in our section was doing that too because it got way
Because after
colder.
Kofi, it was what? It was Triple H. It
No,
was
after
Angle,
that it was a Ray.
It was Ray. It was the U.S.
it was
title
Ro-
match,
Hey,
IC title
hey,
match.
How about this? Roman Reigns was at WrestleMania, and none of us had talked about it at all.
Look, dude,
What about Alicia?
Oh my God, that shit gets annoying.
Dude,
God,
honestly, after
there's
Kofi,
being a fan, but damn, dog.
but look,
Damn, dog.
after Kofi, man, I really didn't care about much. I got back up for like Triple H and Batista a little bit, but
I was surprised I
was
liked that
tight.
match as much as I did.
I thought it was a little long, but
Looking back
23
on it,
minutes.
I
Yeah,
enjoy-
you know, you had the
I
second
really
longest
enjoyed
match
it.
Oh,
of the night.
of course, he
finish
did.
your thought on Becky though.
But shout out to Becky, man. Shout out to Ronda and Charlotte for putting on a damn good match. Even though I went back and watched it later on, it was a really good match. But I just felt like they were in a bad spot, man, because you're sitting there for 7.5 hours, man. But shout out to them. And like Tony said, man, women's wrestling is here. It's taken seriously. Now the guys have to step up, man, because the women earned that main. As Triple H said, they earned that main event spot, man. They were the main event until Kofi came up later on, but they had already made that decision. But all right, let's get to our picks, man.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Tony Thunder.
shit.
Tony Thunder. Sir.
That's me.
So at Festivus, are you gonna fight Allison Kay?
Hey, man, if Allison want to bring it, man, I'm down.
Alrighty.
Let's go with these picks.
All right, let's go to our picks. So, coming up last, we have Kev, as usual.
Hey,
Never fails.
you know what? You are the Jimmy Johnson of this show.
Like, I feel like you just try to pick shit so that you'll be out there, and every time it bites you in the ass.
He was
Yeah.
he was 9-11.
Oh God.
Wow.
Coming
That
up,
sucks.
And he's over here telling me, I think I did pretty good.
tied for third or fourth, third, blah blah blah, however you want to say it. We have myself and Mr. Campbell. We both went 11-9. We were over 500.
Over 500 though. Yeah.
Yes. And
2 fucking matches.
so this comes down to Tony
It only takes one.
and Kyle
Oh,
Collison.
shit.
Oh, shit.
Ladies and gentlemen,
They tied.
Don't say that. That's happened before.
we have a tie.
Damn you, son of a bitch. Damn it. Fuck you, Tony. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Billy Rock on the Billy Rock.
Both of you guys went 12-8.
Fuck you, Tony.
Man.
Hey, was there one that? So what was the major upset? Because I know I'm.
Hey, what was the takeover card?
What do you mean?
Like,
who won on
did
TakeOver?
you write down each one? Or you just wrote in general?
No, I wrote them all down, but it's gonna take all fucking day. I'm trying to find like one. Where, Kyle Campbell got the upset because he. Oh no, he fucked up because he picked. he
that
picked
Brock.
Pete Dunne. He was the only one to pick Pete Dunne.
Yeah, the one time the one time the damn horse don't come.
I knew I was going Walter all the way on that.
Nobody got the women's battle royal.
I should win that. I should win. Just
My,
because I was
my
closest
pick was
in the women's
my
battle
pick
royal.
was right there with yours, asshole.
Wait,
Because
Kev-
she was the one that yours threw out.
Kev was the only one that picked Braun Strowman to win the men's battle royal.
Oh, that's easy.
Damn.
Everybody.
y'all
was a
said
given. I
Rob.
just
Y'all
didn't
said
think they would
Rob.
go with
Like,
it, like,
I'm gonna be
obvious.
there.
I'm like, that's too easy.
Shout out to me and Tony for picking Tony Nese.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
the one time,
I didn't
the
even
one
see that
time a
match,
damn
so.
cruiser. I actually kind of watched a
1,
cruiserweight match
2,
in
3,
WWE.
4, 5.
Shout out to me and Mr. Campbell for picking Triple H.
Game.
If it gives you any
Wait,
idea
y'all
how
didn't
long
pick Triple H?
Wait,
I ain't see that shit coming.
wait. Tony was the only one that picked Daniel Bryan to win.
Wow.
I did?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
And
Damn, that's weird. What the fuck was I on?
Dope.
and Kev was the only one that did not pick Becky Lynch.
Punk ass. Punk ass Chauncey.
Why, though?
Because I wanted her to win.
If I really did not pick Kofi, I gave that shit away.
Yeah, you did.
No, I remember you said that you didn't pick.
You said if Steph wins and
You
Becky
right, you
wins,
right.
he has to
I do
lose.
remember. I do recall. I said that he wouldn't win
It was
it
that
at
damn,
Mania,
it was
but
that
maybe
damn,
Raw after. I didn't say
damn
that.
Brock pick that really screwed me. The one time they don't keep the belt on that big
Dude,
lumberjack bastard.
if it gives you any idea as to how long the show was, they got fined because they went over. And
Well,
because they went over,
Only reason I
Ooh,
picked
that had to
Ronda.
be like $1 million fine, man.
hold on a minute. So even all the workers at MetLife, first of all, thank God the weather held out while we were in there. But I don't know how you got back to your hotel, but literally, like as you walked out there, it started fucking torrential downpour.
Yep.
And then so the Ubers, like no one could find their Ubers because they all had to come into the same place. And then on top of that, the trains stop at 1. There's a train that'll get you back to anywhere you need to go back in New York. But the train stopped at 1, so they had to get another train. So they had to pay for the train, they had to pay for the stagehands, they had to pay for all that shit because they went like an hour over.
They need to do something about that. I mean, I know they're trying to make it a Super Bowl-esque type thing where it's an event.
Start
but
it
Jesus,
earlier
man,
or
that's
something.
just that's
Like,
that's
it legit-
wrong,
Or how about
Yeah,
this?
even the Super Bowl is 4 hours.
Wait, how about this? Don't have so many matches.
Yeah.
They
I'm
tryna
sorry.
fit
We could have
everybody
lived
on
without
there.
a couple.
I'm
of those
sorry, man.
matches,
Some people. Hey, look, it's
You're not gonna make the show.
It's a tough business, man. But everybody
And-
should make the big show.
Yeah.
What are you,
I was
Chuck?
gonna say,
What are you, Chuck Lorre at the end of 2.5 Men or something?
I was gonna say you do realize
about
I
to say
wear
2 in the
glasses,
morning.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
we got.
Trying to get
Chuck
seizures.
Lorre.
Do you want to do a quick run through of Raw and the
We don't have time. We got to wrap this up.
All right.
It was disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, I
Worst
think,
Raw after
hold
Mania
on.
in
Were you at
years.
Raw?
Well,
Yep.
Okay, so
Kyle's going to say something anyway. Go ahead.
this is only. It's just no. All I was gonna say
You want
is
to wrap it up? Nope.
no.
Fuck you. I'm going to say something anyway. All right.
I just wanted to say it's disappointing.
That's why majority of y'all got kids.
Wait,
Go ahead.
wait.
No,
none of us-
dude,
none
all
of
I
us
was
have
gonna
kids
say
that we
is,
know
like,
of.
We're out of time.
We're saved by the
apparently.
bill.
So fuck
Well, wake up in the morning and I'm out this
Hold
other
on, one
morning.
second. Hold on, everybody. Hold on 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Hold on.
1 second. All right.
Oh shit! Here it comes. Is there a caller?
Hello.
That's
Did you
I know
cut him
what
off?
he's
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to inform the fans, but Amanda
Mandy Baba. He about to say something about Mandy Baba.
Wait, did you hang up on him?
He muted.
This has really been too much for us lately to get you on the show. I just want to apologize to Amanda Bobby Cooper and all her fans.
Yo,
All right. So, real quick,
Titty sprinkles.
sir, since you're the guest, you will have the last word about WrestleMania, man. Your weekend, your experience. You have the last word.
Disney World.
Everybody
for
else shut the fuck up. Let the man speak.
It was Disney World for wrestling fans. I would say if you haven't been, you should definitely go. Go next year for Tampa. The most fun I've ever had in my whole life. Period. Next, probably the second best thing, probably after having my daughter. Like,
Yeah, I was about to say,
WrestleMania
she gonna
weekend.
listen to this. You gonna let her
Oh, she's
listen
mad
to
at me
this.
for going. By the way, she's definitely mad at me for going.
All right. You got any social media? Anything you promoting, man?
Right now, I'm also mad at you for going.
Why is that?
Because the episode's going long.
Yeah, I'm a spoken word artist and a comedian. You can follow me at all my socials at Shah Black, SHAHBLACQ.
Ooh. When are you going to say something funny?
Oh, all right, Will. I mean, you the master of Will Sasso, but we're going to
You gonna cut your mic off now.
damn, he went right for it.
All right, go ahead, throw that social media out there one more time, man.
SHAHBLACQ, Shah Black.
All right, any shows coming up anytime soon, man?
Not right now. Just follow follow my media. You'll see something coming up.
All righty. Mr. Thunder.
That's me.
Any shows coming up? Anything you got to promote real quick?
Man, this Sunday I'll be in Bourbon to kick people's face off. I haven't said anything to anybody from the Rat Pack. Say they don't know if I'm alive even. A lot of them been calling me and texting me, and I just don't feel like responding to any of them. So maybe I'll address it in Bourbon. Who knows? And I know that next Saturday, everybody better be at the Copeland Center so they can watch me become the Alliance champion. And like Power said, light bulb, I'm going to grab that light bulb, and that light bulb is the Alliance championship.
Well, nice segue since he's going to be our guest next week.
Oh, nice.
Who's that?
Hightower.
Oh, yeah. Atlas Hightower. Bam.
Y'all didn't clear that with me. He ain't coming on the show. No, I'm just playing. Hey, no. And I do want to apologize once again for the cussing to Justin Timberlake. This is his favorite MMA and wrestling podcast. And this is also Mike Blackwell's favorite MMA and wrestling podcast. So shout out to Mike Blackwell.
Bam. Mr. Collison, any?
No, man. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Detroit Knockout. And shout out to past guests of the show. I met up with Kerry, collar and elbow guy down there. Couldn't have been cooler. And past guests of the show, Bruce Pritchard, and hopefully future guest JR. So it was a good weekend, man, for sure. Definitely a little bit long, but you know what? Like he said, until you've been there, you can't truly understand the experience. So make sure you're following the show. We're trying to be there.
Well, I guess I'm never going to understand it.
Well,
You know what?
some people
Come
do.
to one. You'll probably like it.
No, he was there for SummerSlam.
You
Oh,
was
yeah,
on
you-
Slam?
Yeah,
He was,
But it wasn't 7 hours long.
no, it wasn't.
He didn't get the real
It's fine.
experience.
You still just like, no?
Kev?
On Facebook, it's Kevin D. Russ.
Bam.
Join the Reality Era News page.
Yes, sir.
On Facebook, no, Instagram and Twitter, it's __ made in the 80s.
Bam.
Yeah.
Mr. Campbell.
Find me on Twitter and
2
Instagram at
Two
Team
underscores.
Chaos, KAYOS. You can find my other podcast, Wakanda Podcast is this, WAKINDA Podcast is this. Fuck you, Randy.
I just looked it up. It's not even its own podcast. It's just separate episodes in somebody else's feed.
It's part of another network.
Randy's
Find
a
it at everyonewhocares.com, Anchor, Apple Podcast, and coming soon, probably going to start doing a Twitch.
Alrighty. And shout out to everybody that came out to Buffalo Wild Wings this past Sunday.
Yeah.
We had a great time, man.
Shout out to Mikey.
I was about to say, shout out to Breaking Down the Ring for letting us collaborate with them. And
We said that shit earlier. You should have been here.
I
It's-
was here.
And
remember?
it's funny. The show that me and Kyle's not there, Tim and Frank, you was
Yeah,
there.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Tim and
That's
Frank, who
something-
call me every
Tim got
time we.
lit. Tim got lit up in that piece too.
Yo, so every time we have a party, Tim and Frank call me like, "Yeah, what's all the details?" And then they don't show up, and then I go, and then they show up.
Hey, Frank, you could have said something to me. Damn it, you over there eating
The
fries.
pain in
and
the
stuff.
ass, brother.
But shout out to everybody that showed up. Alicia, Stephanie,
Hey, shout out to Eddie J.
Eddie J,
And Christy and Cole, who won some of our stuff too.
And Braylon Edwards.
Mike Finley and Steph was there, man. Our other friend Stephanie was there. Roy, everybody that showed up, man.
Will.
Seeth, man. I don't want to
Yeah.
keep naming people here because I forget. But shout out to everybody that showed out, man. It was a great moment, man. I enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more coming up on that. So, with all that being said, thank you all for listening.
Fuck your couch.
Damn it!
Seacrest out.
Until next time, peace.
Seacrest out.
Thanks.
Yo, let me push the buttons before you take your headphones off.
Until next time.